Imagine an island at the very edge of the known world, wrapped in cold fog, battered by restless waves, and inhabited by fierce warriors who painted their bodies blue and refused to bow to any distant ruler. Then, in the year 43 AD, the horizon filled with Roman ships carrying the most disciplined army on earth. This was not just another military expedition. It was the beginning of a story that would last nearly 4 centuries. A story of invasion and resistance, of cities rising from wilderness, of massive walls cutting across the land, and finally, of a mysterious withdrawal that left the island to face an uncertain future alone. How did Rome, the greatest empire of its age, conquer Britain? And why, after centuries of dominance, did it simply walk away? Before the Romans arrived, Britain was not a unified kingdom, but a patchwork of rival tribes, each fighting for territory and survival. To Rome, however, this division looked like opportunity-rich farmland, valuable metals, and the promise of glory. Emperor Claudius sought a victory that would secure his legacy, so he dispatched powerful legions across the sea. When Roman soldiers stepped onto British shores, the tribes attempted to unite against the foreign threat, and brutal battles shook the countryside. Yet Roman discipline, advanced tactics, and relentless organization soon tipped the balance. One stronghold after another fell, and with every mile the legions marched, it became clear that an ancient way of life was fading, replaced by the unstoppable expansion of an empire that had already conquered much of the known world. Britain did not surrender quietly. Resistance flared almost immediately, led by war chiefs determined to defend their freedom. Among them was Caratacus, whose long campaign proved that the island would not be subdued without cost. Even after his capture, Rome's sense of victory proved premature. Years later, a rebellion erupted that nearly shattered Roman control, the uprising of Queen Boudica. Driven by vengeance and fury, she rallied thousands and unleashed destruction upon Roman settlements, burning cities and spreading terror across the province. For a moment, it seemed the empire might lose Britain entirely. Smoke darkened the skies, and fear crept into Roman ranks. But empires survive by crushing defiance, and when Rome regrouped, the response was swift and devastating. The rebellion was annihilated, and from that point forward, Britain understood a harsh truth. Challenging Rome meant confronting a force that did not forgive. With major revolts suppressed, Rome turned from conquest to transformation. Engineers carved straight stone roads through forests and hills, connecting newly built towns where markets thrived and bathhouses buzzed with life. Roman coins circulated widely, laws reshaped society, and unfamiliar customs slowly blended with local traditions. Britain was no longer a distant frontier. It had become a functioning piece of a vast imperial network stretching across continents. Goods, ideas, and people moved with surprising ease, and for many inhabitants, life grew more stable and prosperous than ever before. Yet beneath this appearance of order lingered a quiet tension, a reminder that Roman peace rested ultimately on military strength. Rome eventually realized that endless expansion northward drained resources without delivering lasting control. So Emperor Hadrian made a bold decision. Instead of pushing farther, he would draw a line across the island. The result was a colossal wall spanning the landscape, not merely a defensive structure, but a powerful symbol separating two worlds, the disciplined Roman south and the untamed north. Along this frontier stood thousands of soldiers from every corner of the empire, forming multicultural communities where families, traders, and cultures intertwined, despite the constant threat beyond the border. For centuries, the wall embodied Roman authority, yet it also whispered an uncomfortable truth. Even the mightiest empire has limits.
Over time, cracks began to spread through the foundations of Rome itself. Political turmoil, economic strain, and mounting pressure along distant borders.
Protecting faraway provinces became increasingly difficult, and Britain, once a prize, started to feel like a burden. Gradually, legions were withdrawn to defend the imperial heartland. Then came the moment that changed everything. Rome informed the Britons that they would have to defend themselves. Imagine waking to find that the army guarding your world for 4 centuries was simply gone, leaving behind roads, cities, and walls, but no protection. The collapse was not instant, but it was inevitable. Urban life declined, trade weakened, and the island slipped into a turbulent new age that would shape the future of England. Still, Rome never fully vanished. Its roads remained beneath travelers' feet, its ruins dotted the landscape, and its legacy endured a quiet reminder that while empires fall, the marks they leave behind can outlive them by centuries.